And as Jim just said, Adobe is up sharply. This after reporting quarterly results that exceeded what most analysts had been anticipating. Listen to Adobe CEO Shantanu Narayan, by the way, from last night's earnings call.
I mean, profitability, despite the FX impact that impacted hundreds of millions of dollars, when you look back and say at the end of the year, we exceeded our non-GAAP EPS that we had said a year ago, I think that is a really amazing performance by the finance and operations team of making sure that we continue to remain focused. And I think as it relates to go forward, we've clearly talked about why we're excited about the innovative roadmap, why we're excited about all of the things that are going to come up in 2023 and beyond. And so I think it was a good year.
And he will be a guest on Tech Check.
But how
later
about
this morning, 11 a.m. You're not going to want to miss that. Well, the Figma acquisition, you and I,
Justice Department second round.
I remember I think I was in San Francisco during you were here, but that was a disaster in terms of what it did to the market cap of the company. Just crushed the stock. They spent $20 billion on obviously a private company that would be worth a lot less right now, potentially in this world. Although this was already in the midst of of many of the blow-ups.
And I look at and I think that, the Justice Department's in the second round. Maybe Assistant Attorney General.
They got a second request.
Maybe there was a feeling wants to help them by vetoing the deal.
but there was a feeling as well.
Shantanu loves the deal.
Right. That they needed to do that deal. No matter that they needed to do Figma. It was a threat to them in some way that, regardless of what the price was, it had to happen.
I can understand that, but I felt that, here's the way I felt about that. And you can ask me this. I felt I had more faith in Shantanu than Shantanu had faith in himself. I said, I think they can beat this. They can come up with this. But we see these acquisitions periodically. IBM has done a series of them where I used to think IBM can do better than that.
Yep.
But the Red Hat acquisition turned out to be actually working.
Potentially.
Yeah. So there's when?
What, at IBM? I know it's working. They're getting some revenue growth out of it, and then they've obviously got this deal with Kindle. We're going to talk more about IBM at some point, but not today. I want to come back to Adobe, though. $2.68 billion in Creative Cloud.
Right. You see the numbers they set for Christmas?
That was a record.
$200 billion for Christmas, which I thought was positive.
13% growth year over year.
Holidays. I forgot I was in America.
Right. Key customer wins: Electronic Arts, Meta, NBC Universal.
Yeah, no, they had good wins.
Yeah, Roku, Target. So
Roku's good.
Yep.
Did you really put Roku in the same sentence as Target? Right now, like Brian Cornell says, can you believe this? This guy lived in Queens. He puts me in the same thing as Roku.
They put it in the same thing in their conference call. This is what he said. What do you want me to do? That's what they wrote in their script. What do you want from me? All right.
Don't do that Edward G. Robinson on me.
I won't. Not now.
I thought that the Adobe call was good, but in the perspective, and people are saying, listen, there's some good ones now. ServiceNow is good. Adobe's now is good. Workday's good. And I look at them and I say, these are not necessarily what I want to own right now. I want to own, I want low multiple stocks just because they tend to be holding.
So that thing climbed that mountain. We talked about it a lot and created incredible value over that 4-year period.
True.
Obviously, a lot of it has been lost.
But that's what
you don't think that this sort of marks a bottom in a sense?
I think that there's a bottom in Salesforce and a bottom in Adobe and a bottom in ServiceNow. But all that said, I'd rather buy companies that are levered to the gigantic infra spend that our government's going to do. They can't be hurt by the Fed.
How about a bottom in Meta? You think that
definitely?
We, our viewers know your history with that name and the pain that you suffered.
I think that he's not spending as much. That Mark is not spending as much time in the metaverse as people realize. I think that if TikTok is somehow banned, then Reels, which has a very good ROI, will be terrific. They don't make as much money. I think Instagram itself is having really good numbers, and I think that, WhatsApp is good. But all that said, I think the stock was the worst performer in the S&P, and so it deserved a bounce.
Well, it got a bit of a bounce today, as we mentioned, from J.P. Morgan. They say heading into 23, we think some of the top and bottom line pressures will ease, and most importantly, Meta showing encouraging signs of increasing cost discipline.
Yeah, and they may do more.
By the way, you have been saying the same.
Well, that I got right.
Yes.
I mean, blind squirrel finds nut. I do think that Meta, the more I talk with people about whether they're going to be in the metaverse, the more I find people who are discouraged and think that it's not going to work commercially, maybe until it gets to a flat screen. People still feel like that when you put on the goggles, you're not who you are. And you're not. That's not what people want to do, is put on goggles.
No.
They don't want to put on goggles.